Hey, what's up? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of Blue Book MKE. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about the uh, the day that my online guru emailed me back saying that he didn't know how to do something that he claimed in all of his videos was able to do. Now, not to say that he hasn't uh, gotten more education and understanding more about uh, what he was claiming in the with the information product that he was selling, but I was kind of taken aback. And I'm not going to mention the individual's name. This individual, though, is someone that is out there big time selling information. Uh, but the reason why I want to bring up this story is because uh, you have to be careful of who do you listen to and kind of doing a little bit of as much of a deep dive to see what potentially these online gurus are trying to not have you see. So I'll just give you my own example. When I was reaching out, because I'm fairly successful with offline business, and I wanted to establish one of my companies to be an online business because I was like, I know that I could scale more if I'm able to do business in more places. Because with my one business that I had grew, it was basically, just in one city. And, you can, for 30 something years, you can, even though you won't hit every business, but it's just like you're kind of eating out of the same trough or drinking out of the same trough over and over that can get a little bit stale. And I wanted to have the opportunity to go, nationwide. And I wanted to make, number one, I wanted to just see if I was able to accomplish it and then to see how big I can make it. And so I was purchased one of his programs on online businesses. And I had specifically sent an email and said, well, can you tell me what I could do for my business? And he wrote back. I mean, it was just straight up, I don't know. And the reason why it was like it took me aback so far is because the information that I purchased from you was supposed to help that, and then I had a question, and you were not able to answer that question. So that's why it's very you important for you to pay attention to who you listen to. Let me give you some foundation behind it. I know I've been kind of vague with the way that I've explained it. If you start a business, let's just take it from the beginning. If you start a business and let's just say that you want an online business, uh, above the board, you know that you need a website, domain name, you need to put it on a shared server or get your own server. You need a website, you need to register your business name just to make sure someone doesn't take it. You might want to get a business Facebook page, like all of this stuff. That's the things that you're gonna do ahead of the time, do that you just know to do. Some people reach out to get information on how to do it. And when you reach out to an individual on how to register your LLC, if they've never registered an LLC before, but they've talked about registering an LLC, you will know right away that there's a problem if they can't get that done for you quick. And that's the way that I've found out if an individual was truthful about what they're doing or if they're just like on the job training, which is very dangerous. Not to say that someone can't do it, but to have on the job training when you came to them and that's supposed to be their specialty, it can make a lot of problems. So, like, the next step, you want to get your website created and you give them all your information. They say it's going to take a month to create your website. What do you mean it's going to take a month to create my website? You're supposed to be a specialist in this. My company, just so you know, depending on the type of website, we can knock one out in sometimes same day or the next day or within 3 to 5 days, just depending on how technical it is. But this is stuff that we know how to do, and we get the job done. You'll find that individuals don't know how to do those things, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, it's a delay, it's a delay, it's a delay. And so you got to be very careful on picking your people. And when it comes to marketing your business, be very careful. Now, there's some people that know how to market their information program on getting you to buy their information. But when you utilize their information, you end up saying this information didn't work for me, and I'm going to tell you the reason why it didn't work for you. The reason why it didn't work for you is because their information was not put to a true test. Now, you may be saying, well, it is put to a true test because they're selling me information. So if they know how to sell me information, they know how to make it to where I can put my information using what they learn to sell my information or to sell my product or service or to get people to come into my store. And that's exactly where I ran into that problem with the guru is that, yes, he knew how to sell information, but he did not know how to craft that information into selling someone else's information. Like it got weak after that. Now, where I stand strong with my experience with my company is that I've worked for 33 years with different types of businesses online when online came about, but storefront, getting phone calls to businesses, all types of companies that these people were never exposed to, that they never had the experience with, and also I think that gives what something that gives me an upper hand. What I've learned is that I was actually grinding before the internet came about. The internet kind of made it easier for people to put their information out there on the platforms, but what it kind of did, and why so many people and businesses and even corporations are very frustrated with online advertising is because they did not know how they were going to track that information. Now, you might be saying that they have pixels and all of that stuff. Yeah, that stuff works. But if you do not have the ground floor training of making creative ads that will get people to respond, you're going to find yourself in the same boat. It doesn't matter how many pixels you have. All it'll do is your pixels will say that you're spending a lot more money to generate leads based off of what you used to do when you were doing offline advertising. So it's very important. And then another thing, big benefit from my experience is that when I was out there before the internet and all that stuff was going, I I had a lot of pressure from business owners that were like, I want my phone to ring. And when I kept hearing that over and over, that like that's what they cared about. They didn't care really too much about the vehicle that I was using. Yeah, they knew that I was using a advertising magazine, but the basic rock bottom line was they wanted their phone to ring. And what ended up happening from that is I learned how to sell to business owners. And that translated on how I was able to get my business owners who advertise how to sell people to call their number or to come into their store because a lot of people don't know what they're actually selling. Like it was right in front of my face. I wasn't selling advertisement. I was selling making their phone call, making the phone ring to their store, making people visit their store. And now later when the internet came about, I was selling making the phone ring still with certain businesses that wanted their phone to ring, and then also getting people to go to the website, getting people to fill out forms, getting people to go into the stores. That's what I'm actually selling. And now when you think about it with your business, what are you actually selling? Do you know what you're actually selling? You have let's just say that you have a bicycle company. This reason why that comes to my mind is because there's a very good bicycle company in the city that I just moved from that's going out of business. I don't know the owner, never approached them about doing anything, but when my wife and I were going to eat breakfast at a restaurant that's close to there, we had noticed that they were going out of business, and we had went through there once looking at their selections when my wife wanted to get an electric bike when she was shopping. And they had a very good selection, very good setup. The store was very nice, but they could not survive in business. And I believe that they did not survive in business because number one, they did not do anything new to bring traffic to their store. Like they just sat there and just believed that people were just going to go with word of mouth, or my cousin bought a bike and now my other cousin's going to buy a bike. And they forgot that those two cousins are like 60 years old and they're not buying bicycles anymore. And the relatives that they would tell to buy a bicycle don't care to go to your bicycle store because they're buying it from Amazon and having it delivered straight to their house. So you didn't change with your business. And so they did not change with their business, bringing in new customers, bringing in younger customers. They didn't even care to do any of that. And they're ended up going out of business. And they don't. And then the other part is not understanding what you're selling. You're selling bicycles, but you're not actually selling a bicycle. You're selling, where a person can go out, get out in the open on a nice, unique type of bicycle. Like you got to break down what you're selling, the actual, like if, for example, for the bicycle shop, what type of bicycles and what are the benefits of the bicycle. That's exactly what you're selling. If it's one for older people, maybe the seat is a lot more comfortable. Maybe it gives them brings them back to when they were young by the structure of the bicycles. You see that they got some of the bicycles that look like they're back from the 70s and 60s and 50s. That's what you're selling. You're selling that feeling, that mindset of being young back then again. Or you're selling like the ones that the type of bike my wife is getting me for Christmas. It has those big fat tires, and I want to be out there like I want to be able to ride my bicycle on dirt. I don't what because I just bought this farm and I want to be able to ride the bicycle out there on the dirt and go up the hills and all of that stuff on the bicycle. And it has those big fat tires that allow you to be able to do that. And those big fat tires also allow bicycles to be rode on the beach. So that's what you're selling. So you have to craft your product or your service into actually the outcome is what you're selling. And so this is some very good information, because when you understand that, if you know that you got to come up with a way to bring in people, to bring in customers, whatever way it's going to be, you have to focus on that. Because if you don't, you can have the best bicycle or the best product or service out there, but if you don't have enough people coming to see it, enough people understanding what's the benefits, enough people knowing where to go get it and why you're different, your business is not going to survive. So I hope this is some good information for you. If you haven't done it yet, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please check into my 5-day challenge, which I was, kind of go dive into detail about how we can help your business level up if you're looking at having that done. Links will be below this video if we've released that 5-day challenge. Watch for the updates. Please subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and Founder of Blue Book MKE.